in the cat than us, but I mean, basically they're all same area. You see the long tendons here, go to each toe, but we'll worry about that later. What's this bone right here?
The
Calcaneus, that's a heel. So what am I pulling right here? Achilles tendon, which is pretty prevalent and prominent in the cat. But what you're going to do is you're going to make a little poke here, right like that. And I can kind of see the outline of a muscle here, only because I've done this a long time. But I'm going to put the probe in like that, and you see that it pokes out at the end of the muscle easily.
Did you go under the tendon?
Well, the tendon's way down here. I just went in this under the skin. I poked up in the skin because I'm looking for the end of that muscle. And then, because you got to be careful not to go too deep with this muscle. Because if you go too deep with this muscle, you're going to ruin the sciatic nerve that lies right underneath this muscle. So what I'm just trying to do is loosen this muscle up because I'm going to run in over here. Got some more fat there too, but there she is. Pretty thick. I'm trying to do is make this incision so I can get my finger in there. Because once I get my hand in there, then I know I'm lifting up on the muscle and not on any tissue that I shouldn't be in there. I can see the end of that muscle. So it's a broad muscle like that. Right? Sometimes I can poke right through there. I don't want to ruin that sciatic nerve. So I'm just going to clip down along the side here. I should have lifted that up enough. And I'm just going to clip along here. See how easily that goes. And then it should. Now you're going to run into another muscle here on the side, and you can see that see where that blue is? So that's where this muscle ends. So then we're just going to clip along it. And if you miss some of it, it's not that big of a deal. And then you're going to see this big nerve. This is a nerve. See that? Okay. This muscle is the biceps femoris. This is the main hamstring muscle. Now in us, in the cat, it's basically on the back of the side of the thigh. It's a little different orientation because they're on all fours. And it's big fat, it's fatter in them than us. Now in our hamstring is the biceps femoris the more lateral one or the more medial one? More lateral muscle, and it's bigger too than the tendinosus and semimembranous. But there's that sciatic nerve that I can definitely pin. So that's your biceps femoris. Now it's got a little fat here.
You're gonna pin the sciatic nerve?
Fair game. That's what I'm saying. What's wrong?
I was just eating.
Oh. I want to get this fat off because there's muscles underneath it. Sometimes they have a little pad of fat there.
You said the nerve, that nerve you showed us is the sciatic nerve?
Yeah.
What are all those red veins?
These are all arteries.
Oh, okay. They look like thread.
Yeah, they are, and they're stretchy, and they should be. As long as I'm here, I'm just going to peel off the skin so I can see the muscles underneath. And as long as I'm here, there's muscles right here, a pad of them. But I'm going to go in and take the gracilis off and find the sartorius, but these are just so tempting to just, since they're here, separate out nicely. separate out better here. All right, so a couple things you can do. The gracilis is bigger in the kitty than us. It is the groin muscle. It's the most medial adductor that any animal has, any mammal, including us. So it's right underneath here, and it kind of goes like this. It's similar shape to the biceps femoris. So I'm just going to poke in there. And we also have the sartorius in here too. So I want to ruin my adductor. It's so good. It's the best adductor I've ever had. Usually it doesn't poke open like that. I want to get up and under that gracilis. There we go. And with anything else, with muscles, rolling is really the way to go. Try to roll it. I don't want to ruin that muscle. Nose is running like a sieve. Can't get over this cold.
I'll get you a tissue, but you're covered in cast juices.
Nah, that's
You're covered in.
covered in cat.
Not quite as cute as covered, but you're covered in willow fur.
That willow fur gets old, let me tell you. Okay, that's the gracilis right there. Okay. The hardest one, it gets really hard up here when I start lifting up off the sartorius. But once we get that gracilis off, you're going to see that. Look how that separates. You see how that separates? I meant to show you a video here before. So these two muscles are both hamstring muscles, right? You have semitendinosus and you have semimembranous. So the tendinosus one kind of hangs here. See that one hanging? So that's semitendinosus. So the next one up is the semimembranous. So that, these three are the hamstrings. A little different orientation in the cat. But you can see this is a lateral muscle, just like in us, right? And then that medialis one is always kind of tucked underneath. There's semitendinosus. Now do you see this muscle here? We just in the cat call those the adductors, because it's a combination of the adductor magnus and longus, and I don't, if I pin it in here, I want adductor, right? So we got gracilis, we peel that off, and then we have the adductors, and then the semimembranous, semitendinosus. Okay, so now we're going to try to get the sartorius off. I think that's what comes next, yeah. So this is the tough one. It's right here. It starts up here and goes and wraps around the side. So what I want to do, I want to try to do, I've messed up sartoriuses many times. Don't fall.
So when you pin the muscles on the cat, do we just have to identify them? And then when you put them on the model, we have
No,
to
I
say...
asked for movement too,
Okay.
in both.
Jazz is just having a meltdown over here.
What's going on?
I'm gonna take you back to your dorm after this.
Messed up my foot.
What, from doing the muscle movements?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. No. Sprayed in some new shoes yesterday.
Oh.
Did you hear the bed that he stepped on?
What's wrong?
She's feeling dizzy.
Yeah, she was turning bright red.
I think she brought a snack out.
Huh?
She brought a snack out to the.
Oh, good. Okay. But you can do that anytime, that's fine. So, what I'm trying to do is lift off the sartorius. You know, it starts up at the hip and then it goes and inserts over on the knee. So I'm trying to get it off, but it's not necessarily cooperating. Because I have so much fascia here.
Bless you. Bless you. That's all right.
I'm one of those people that see it like 10 times.
I do too.
We had a girl in my class in school that did that. We would count how many times she would say.
After 3 times, my parents say, "Get your life together." And it usually helps.
Get your life together, dude.
Yeah. My parents tell me I'm being greedy. After 3. Stop being greedy. Okay, sorry.
There it is. Here's the sartorius that I'm lifting up. See that?
Yes.
Okay, so it comes around from the hip and then inserts on the medial proximal end of the tibia here. And that's for pulling the knee up. See that? So when the cat jumps, it's going to pull that up. So that worked out kind of well. I've had it be worse. And this, latte, yeah.
Use a small one.
And I'm trying to get it from so it won't tear. But I do have to lift up this tensor, no, this is the IT band here.
Just kidding. I'm not supposed to.
She said
Iliotibial
yes.
band. I said yes because I was looking for the tensor fasciae latte that's right up
Can we
there.
put IT band or do you want?
I want iliotibial band.
I thought it was really a tibia track.
Either one.
Right.
But I like band. It's like a band-aid. It's like a band-aid. And see the little muscle here at the end of it? That's your tensor fasciae latte.
Oh.
Which I used the other day in Pilates. And it hurt bad. I was in a lot of pain. Because I think that muscle said, I never used. What are you doing? You're bothering me. There we go. Come on, roll, baby, roll. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Get
I
all
love
of it.
those classes. Can I just take all of you with me to all of my classes? Just
This has been a very nice group of people, I will say that. You know, I wish I could spend the day.
with all of us?
Yes.
End of semester, we'll have like a nice little coffee.
I'd like to get rid of my afternoon class.
Can we have a food day on the last day?
Cheyenne said you can move in with her and just carpool with her.
Okay, so that's the IT band. That's the tensor fasciae latte. You see how it's fleshy right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what I'm gonna have to do though is cut this off because I need to get the other muscles underneath out. I hate doing this because then it shrivels up like no other. There we go. So there's the sartorius.
Looks like chickens.
And then you got this big muscle here on the side. It's always underneath the tensor fasciae latte, right? What would that muscle be? Nope.
The adductors are on the other side.
And I'm
Remember?
gonna take the sartorius off.
Abductors.
I'm gonna flip it off.
Something.
Yep, it is.
Fastest ladder hours.
That is correct,
Good job,
Amanda.
Riley.
How do you?
Good job, baby.
Extra credit point for birthday. I love how Doug just doesn't say anything.
That is correct. I just nicer to not say?
That book doesn't give out those extra credit points.
Right.
Gotta work for it.
Gotta work hard for them.
Right.
What are you snipping? All the things.
Well,
She didn't like that muscle.
It's out of here.
look at all this tissue.
You love it?
So I had
love my
students tell me
galaxy.
that some of their professors emailed them yesterday and said there was no classes.
Yeah, it's
No, Veterans Day.
Right.
That's just crazy.
I had both of my classes, so.
I had to work. I had to work.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is what you have a situation here. You have a hot dog and a bun.
Oh.
Oh.
I love hot dogs. Because that's what your class looks like.
I really just wanted to like point the camera at you, like cracking up.
I got corn dogs at home. I'm about to go eat.
No, it's not corn dogs, it's hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs are in the corn dogs.
Oh.
Hot dog in a bun.
Not in a
breaded
Yeah.
whatever nastiness.
Corn dogs are gross.
So nasty. Do you
I'll eat
microwave your corn
but I
dogs?
just don't like hot dogs.
I don't like corn
I don't
dogs.
really have a
I
oven.
need a hot dog.
The pancake and sausage ones. Those are
What about an air fryer?
I love air fryers.
technically, as
Why?
long as you hide them, I have a crock pot and a kettle and a grill.
In the dorm?
A
Yeah,
grill.
all
Not
that
like a
shit.
grill that you set on fire,
Like a
like a
grill.
panini press.
I feel like
Oh,
like
one of those things like a sandwich.
Okay, so this is your biceps femoris. The big muscle underneath here. Let me separate this one out. On the side here is the what? Vastus lateralis. And then, like a hot dog, that's a bun. Vastus lateralis is a bun. In the middle is the skinnier muscle here, and that is the rectus femoris. And then over here on the side is the other part of the bun, vastus medialis. I can lift it
Do
up.
they have an intermediate?
They do, underneath the rectus femoris, just like ours. You have to
the
move it.
bottom of
I
the
like to
bun.
pin it in the
Model.
model. Otherwise, I would lift this up or cut it and reflect it back.
So many. I dreamed about muscles last night and I was like, this is too much.
I dreamed about my boyfriend's muscles. I dreamed about murders last night because I fell asleep watching From the Nose.
I dreamed about murdering my boyfriend.
That's not a good dream.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
I can't handle the snoring. I'm over it. I'm so tired.
All right. Do we have those three? Okay. So this muscle across here is the what? Sartorius. This one. Gracilis. Okay. This one. Adductor. Semimembranous and semitendinosus. All right. So now we're gonna go in the front of the leg. I think. Let me get this fascia off.
This time I do. Earlier I
And I can see this muscle here,
surgery from the box.
and I should feel the tibia. There's the tibia. Once I'm on the tibia, then I can lift this muscle up. I get some more of that fascia off.
Watch your face.
See all that muscle? That's the tibialis anterior, which they really need for dorsiflexion. No, when they're hopping, jumping.
Helps them. That's why they can jump so high.
Yep. And I'm right on the bone here. I can feel the bone. So now on the back side, just gonna poke through here. Then what am I separating out right here? Achilles tendon. So I know the muscles in the back here are there's three of them, and we should be able to see them all in the cat.
Posterior. tibia is supposed to. What about the tibialis longus?
No, we don't worry about it.
Cross that one off. Yeah. Sounds good.
Get this fascia out of the way. Not cooperative.
That was like.
That was really loud.
I know. Got some peristalsis going on.
Smooth
Listen to all those
muscle.
big words you use now.
It's all because of you, Dad.
I
Sounds
know.
so smart.
So proud.
Listen, I went and talked to my advisor this morning, and she's like, "Oh, I see that you're in A and P1. What's your grade?" And I was in A, and she was like, she sounded shocked. I was like, "Okay."
Who's your advisor?
Dola something. Dola.
Hey, I have her too.
I called her for.
She sounded shocked? Why?
Kind of. I don't know. That's
Maybe you're
I
hard.
appear like I'm dumb or something.
I think she's just not used to people
See that?
having an A this semester.
See that? Did she ask who you had?
Yeah.
And what'd she say then?
She's like, "Oh, I heard she was pretty good."
Pretty good?
You're
Pretty good?
Did you tell her that you loved Dad?
Yes.
I mean, I know Dola. I
Are you
used to
gonna
work with her
teach?
daughter.
Are you gonna teach AP2 next year too?
I don't know.
You might be done. You might hang it up.
I'm not gonna hang it up.
Oh.
No, not at this time. I need to buy a new car, so I won't teach her this maybe
Well,
another
you gotta
year.
teach for another 10 years. That jeez.
No, 1 year should do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when I'll hang it up. What else am I gonna do?
I don't know.
You know, if I could find some rich sugar daddy who would
Yeah.
just,
They have
Yes,
like
Dad.
sugardaddy.com or something.
do they? Yeah, the ones who choose me be so old, it'd be just like, anyway. So,
Maybe he'll be a young guy.
What year did you first start teaching?
oh my God.
Are we talking high school or college?
Well, I started in high
All the
school.
things.
I've been teaching 40 years.
How do you handle kids that long?
Nice.
I get tired.
She likes kids.
Took a lot of drugs, no.
Nice. We have that on video.
I'm only kidding.
Dad told you once to go to a weed clinic.
I told you that story when my advisor told me, well, I think you'd be a good teacher. And I'm like, but I don't even like kids, so, you know. But I love my high schoolers. I really do. Now, some of them I didn't love. Some of them I learned to love. Some of them I can't forget.
Missouri Valley can't be great.
Well, it really, you learned a lot, okay? You learned how to handle a lot of situations that you never in 1,000 years would have even anticipated. So, I stayed too long. I mean, I should have gone back to school. And I had thought about it. I toyed with being a PA, and I probably should have gone back, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. It is what it is now.
Here we are.
I'm in it for the duration. So hopefully I don't mess too many people up. So see this big fat one? That's your gastrocnemius. The one underneath it is the soleus. And then the one right adhered to the bone, right there, is the tibialis posterior.
And you remember that because
See?
it's attached.
1, 2, 3, it's right on that bone.
Is the
See, the
gastro-
one on the side is a fibularis muscle, like on the fibula.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your tibialis anterior, this is your tibialis posterior, this is your soleus, and this is your gastrocnemius. This hangs down there. Did I forget anybody? And we're not going to worry about the toe ones, not in the cat. So not too bad? Okay.